Welcome to Sweet Remedy again for the 39th episode of the B Graders. So this week we've got an entertaining week for you. We've got the GB Supercrit. We're going to wrap up the Westrel.
It's been a pretty big weekend of racing. We saw Tyler Lindorff take out the Westrel wheel race on Friday night. Absolutely fantastic ride. And then Stevie Hall was placed second there as one of the most consistent riders on the WA calendar.
Where was Lindorff off? Was he off chopping block or?
I thought he was off 120 metres.
120? Oh, he started a lap up, did he?
Yeah.
A lap 20 metres. Okay. No, well done to Tyler. Just joking. But and then on the weekend, what happened on the weekend?
Yeah, GB Supercrit. Tyler Lindorff backed it up with a big second place there, right behind Stevie Hall.
Who did he beat there?
There was quite a few riders in the field.
But did he beat someone particular on the line in the throw, I think?
Yeah, it was pretty tight there between Tyler and Michael Freiberg.
Yeah.
We might have gone to the camera, but
I know, I'm pretty sure I saw it. I reckon he got him significantly, but that's fine. That's poor Michael about that. Also, big congratulations to Michael Freiberg actually for winning the National Road Series. So that guy stepped up this year.
Fantastic job there.
He looked like a baby rhino last year, but now he's slimmed down and he's flying. So.
Yeah, that's it. Caterpillar turned into a butterfly. And we can't forget Stevie Hall. Absolutely fantastic ride.
I agree.
Taking a lap on the main field at the GB Supercrit. Stevie's had a big season, big 2 years away racing in the US, and he's certainly brought that form straight across to Australian criteria racing, and absolutely fantastic to see. Stevie's never one to lay down, and he's certainly showed he can race at any level in the sport. So it's fantastic to see he put on a show on the weekend.
I was surprised to see that he went with 20 minutes to go, and that's, for a sprinter like Stevie Hall to do 20 minutes is obviously shows his strength at the moment, so that was fantastic. But also it was really great on the weekend to see the support in the women's grade, actually, to see world's best rider Mariana Vos there with her team, which was fantastic actually. I think with Jess Allen.
Jess Allen,
also
second place.
So
that's like our boys line up against Peter Sagan. So I imagine racing against Peter Sagan, that'd be absolutely incredible. So
downtown Claremont.
Downtown Claremont racing against Peter Sagan. How about that? No, absolutely fantastic ride by Jess Allen to get up there on the podium with the Mariana Vos.
Yeah.
And that's just come off a great weekend down in Turrumarga River as well. The Legends race was another fantastic showing.
I really love that. That was fantastic.
Incredible field there.
Yep.
It was Tim Willing got away with the win there.
Well, I heard, rumour has it, Matt Illingworth's telling everyone, but he pulled his foot in the home straight. So
that'd be why.
Yeah, for sure. There's no way he would have let Tim beat him, but that's okay. So
it could have been the socks that slowed him down. I heard that Illingworth. I've seen a photo on Instagram this morning where Illingworth is racing in his Kodak kit, and there was no socks there, but there were socks on the weekend. That could have been the big difference.
In fairness to Illingworth, he probably did 20k run in the morning and then raced the crit in the night. So,
that could have been it.
Pretty good for a triathlete.
Yeah, not bad for a triathlete.
Not bad for a triathlete. And a kid now also, so it's also tricky. So, chapeau to Illingworth, I think.
Absolutely big weekend. And we better watch out for our special guest coming up in one moment.
We've got a treat for you.
And we're back, and my lordy lord, did you not enjoy the slimmer looking Matt Pointer and the slightly fatter looking Matt Tognini who gave you the wrap of the weekend? I'm here with our special guest, Mr. Luke Durbridge, the king of the classics from WA. Luke, welcome here. How are you?
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, mate. You had a pretty big season last year, punctuated by a couple of incidents. You lay yourself down at the Tour de France but came back pretty well from it. Talk us through it, mate.
Well, this year was a good year for me. I think I started with the classics quite well. I really stepped up in that area, which was really, really nice. I've been working on that for many years now, and you really don't see the big benefits. You just got to keep hoping that one day you'll crack through and get to the front. And then this year I raced in the front in many of the classics, and was really encouraging for me to see. So
well, it's fortunate enough for us here in Perth. We get them live on telly most of the time at a decent hour, and we saw you in things like 3 Day de Pana and etc., where you were at the front. You're getting good results. Maybe didn't quite have the luck that you wanted in Flanders and Roubaix.
Yep.
But you know, how long did it take Matty Hayman to win? How many starts before he got a win?
Well, Matty had I think 16 starts in route race, so I've got time. But hopefully it doesn't take me that long. But no, this year was good. I think last couple of years I've moved to Ghent to for that whole month to really prepare myself for the classics, and that's the one thing that we don't have as Australians is we've got the passion for the classics and with some awesome classic riders over the years, but we have a disadvantage to the Belgians because you just know the roads and you've been there.
Yeah, I have.
You know it's left and it's right and it's this and that.
And there's a pothole there that's been there for 20 years and they all know it because they train over it all the time.
You turn left at Van Pittigen's house, and you're like, with the red door, and you're like, what?
Now, a big question about spending time in Ghent. Now, you stay with Hayman or do you get your own place?
I get my own place, yeah.
Obviously,
yep.
And potato bravas, can you get them there?
Probably a good thing. It's probably why I go well. Maybe it's
so it's just frites and mayonnaise.
Yeah, frites and mayo. Yeah, I mean it's the closest thing you can get potatoes bravas, but you know it's a dire shame. I'm actually considering opening up a shop in Ghent, just a brava shop. So,
geez, Chris Glasby would be there before you knew it. Now let's talk through the successes of your career. Now, do you know that you've got a Wikipedia page?
I do, apparently. Yeah.
You do? I've read your Wikipedia page and there's many things it says. It says that you got a world championship in the time trial as a under 23.
Yes.
You were a silver medalist in the team time trial, yet to win a gold, but that may well come.
May well come.
You had a little bit of success in the track. The Wikipedia page says you were kicked out of the track program. I thought you left of your own volition.
Yeah, well, it's their own opinion.
That's it. I mean, but you haven't looked back.
No.
Obviously, you won Circuit Asarth.
Yep.
First year pro, second year pro.
First year pro, yeah.
Second, and that was a massive result because it's a very big race. Of all the results you've had, and I've got my opinion, what is the biggest result in your mind that you've had?
Well, I think at this point in my career, I would still say winning the first stage of the Dauphiné against Brad Wiggins in my first year pro. I think that was just one of those things that I thought you didn't really know how good you could be as a cyclist and what you could do. And then when I did that, I was also, Wiggins didn't really get beaten that year. So for me to beat Brad there, that was pretty special. That sticks out to me as one of my major highlights. But what I would like to say is that maybe it's still to come.
I think no doubt that your biggest results are still to come.
Yeah.
But of the results you've had, when I look at them, and I'm an objective person,
Sure.
I know how to judge a good result.
Yes.
There are two that stand out for me.
Oh, what are they, Matty? Tell me.
The first is the time trial record around Bibra Lake on Good Friday. Because if you can't do well at the Intergalactic 16K Time Trial Championships,
You're nothing.
It's a bit like Holiday Puppers, which you haven't won yet.
No,
by the
I haven't.
way.
Actually, no, I haven't. No.
But the biggest result you've ever had, biggest by far, the most impressive thing that I know that you have done is convincing Lara Freiberg that you're an actual catch and getting her to say, yes, I will marry you. How did that come about?
You're unbelievable. No. Yeah, I'm surprised too, actually. I think what I did is I sort of got really close to a brother and just sort of made friends with him and then just worked my way into the family and then
Murray liked you.
Murray liked me and then it was just, you put him a good word and it was just she didn't really have a choice.
Didn't she?
No.
So she's like a dowry of sorts, is it?
Arranged.
Arranged, that's it. So you're going forward, mate, do you have a big season coming up? Will it be a very similar program for you or will we see a change, maybe a Giro participation or?
No, I think it'll be very, very similar. This year is going to be the Nationals going into the Classics, which is this year they've got new signings in Matteo Trentin.
It's absolutely massive.
Which would be pretty cool.
You've lost a couple. I mean, Jens Kirkele is a big loss.
It's a big loss, yeah. Mitch Stocker we've also lost.
And Magnus Kort's gone.
Yep.
But you pick up Jack Bauer.
Yep.
Matteo Trentin.
Yeah, I think
and a couple of other boys coming through.
Yeah, Alex Edmondson stepping up, and well, we obviously got the experience with Hayman. So yeah, I think the Classics group is Luka Mezjek has also stepped up as well. So yeah, we have a really good squad going into the Classics.
It's really between you and Trenton for the win. Not the win, for the leadership. Have you sorted that out yet? Have you got in the ring, put the gloves on, and worked out and said, "Hey, I'm Aussie. You're a wog." I can say that because I am. You're working for me, or how does it work?
No, we've I think in terms of way Trentin's had to race a quick step, he's always been behind sort of someone like Gilbert or Boonen or etc. And I think coming onto our team with the results he got back into the season, it's really going to work.
Back into the season, was
pretty amazing actually. So it's going to work well. He can sort of wait in the peloton and go when the real hitters go. And for me to be well and to be up the front, I always have to go quite early because of my style rider I am. So I think it's going to work out really well. I can necessarily move early and he can move late, and then we can, if eventually meet there, then I can help him out in the sprint. And if it doesn't, then it works out for me. And anything in the classics, it's just like a big gamble, roll the dice, and you really do need 2 or 3 sort of leaders going in because so much crap can happen in the race.
Well, you just look at Flanders this year with Gilbert going with 100k to go and hanging on.
Exactly.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
They tell me that Trentin is an Italian who's more like a Belgian.
Yeah.
He's not your typical Italian rider. He rolled up to your first meeting in a pair of double pluggers and board shorts.
Yeah, so no, I'm really looking forward to working with Mateo. So I've heard really good reports, and I met him at training camp, and it's really exciting. So it's sort of refreshing to have a new change within the team. And but my season looks pretty similar. Classics and then build up for the Tour de France.
And there's a team time trial in Tour de France.
Yep,
so,
stage 4, yep.
Down to 8 riders. It's still going to be competitive. Is your spot fairly certain, or are you really going to have to fight for that?
I think when it comes to the Tour de France, unless you're the top GC guy, everyone fights for their spot. And I think that's the way it should be.
Who is the top GC guy? You've got the 2 Yates boys. You've got Esteban, who's, Australian's Esteban because he smiles and everyone loves him.
He's a good guy.
I'm sure he is. I mean, I've not met him, but maybe you can introduce me to him at the Tour Down Under this year. Who would be the P out of all of them if they're all going their absolute best?
Well, I mean, at this stage, Esteban's proven to be on the podium twice at the Grand Tour. The Yates boys have been very, very, very close, but they're also a couple of years younger. So I think it's hard to say. I think everyone on their day have the potential to win a Grand Tour. And so at the moment, I think Chavez is our guy that's proven to be on the podium, so when he goes to a race. But I'm not sure at this stage what those GC guys are focusing on.
Yep.
So we really don't know, and then when we learn out the targets early in the season.
Well, Matty White doesn't consult you on the race programs of all the riders?
No, that's confidential, I think.
Okay,
So,
fair enough.
but nah.
One word of warning. I think you really have to be careful with those Yates brothers being English. Don't want to put too much in them. They'll go sign for Sky when Froome retires, won't they?
Well, I think there's a reason they're not there already. I think they enjoy the relaxed atmosphere we have at our team, and they're relaxed boys. They're the most calmest, coolest cucumbers you have for young boys. They know how to ride their bikes, and they're awesome. So
got a couple of young Aussies coming through. Who do you think out of the Robbie Powers and Lucas Hamiltons of this one? There's probably a couple others that I miss.
Yeah.
How do you think they'll go this year? And do you see any big step ups for those?
Well, I think Robbie's on the verge of stepping up. He's had some really bad luck, the poor guy, and he's a WA boy, and we love him. So on a personal note, I really hope that he can step up. But even exciting to see guys like, in terms of the WA side, we've got a fair few professionals now in terms of Jai, Hindley, Michael Storer, Ben O'Connor, and these are all young guys, and they're all stepping up. So it's exciting to see what they're going to do.
And your mate, Cam Meyer?
Yeah, back.
He's back.
He's back in the family.
He's back in the family. I know you're happy about that because I was talking to you about that earlier last year when he was having his problems at Dimension Data, and you were just hoping that he would come back and rejoin the fold. It's taken a year, but everyone must be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge signing for us, and especially for me personally. Growing up with Cam, being such a good mate for so long, so it's great to have him back, and I'm really looking forward to having him back in the team and just seeing what he can do. And obviously what he's doing on the track at the moment is just ridiculous.
Yeah, apart from binning at day 2 again, which is easy enough to do.
He texted me, he said he feels like a truck's ran him over and then put it in reverse and then reversed over him at the moment.
Look, I've been watching it live because it is live on Eurosport, and that track is short.
Yes.
And there's crashes in every chase. There's almost crashes in every journey.
Yeah, I'm glad I got kicked off the track.
Yeah, well, you're much better on the road because when you crash on the road, you've got places to pick where you fall.
I guess so. Yeah.
If you want to. Now, mate, just one final one, maybe not the final question, but I remember when you were a young buck. It was probably your first tour down under. You might have been riding for Uni SA. You did ride for them once, I think. And I've come up to you outside the Hilton. I said, "G'day, Luke. How you going?" And you said, "Not bad, Matty Pointer." I was just wondering, have you got your eyesights checked since then? Because I don't know if you've seen us. He's always been slightly bigger than me.
I know, and I sort of...
Yeah, probably.
Well, I mean, I should have known when I heard your voice and how loud it was that it wasn't Pointer. But
You're saying he's not loud?
well,
Maybe
it's
not.
hard to beat you.
This is true. This is true. So, mate, I really appreciate you coming along today. It's always good to catch up with you. You know, Luke is a great product from WA Sport. If you're ever in Girona and he's around, he will say hello to you because he took us for a ride, which was more
and
than
some potato bravas.
more, and some whatever red you fed us that night too didn't help the next day.
Into that, yeah.
But certainly, if you're there and he's there, he'll say hello. Get behind him. I reckon he's a shoe-in for some good classics performances this year. Touch wood.
Let's hope. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to finish today. Matt1@iinet.net.au. We're going to finish today with some highlights from the GB Supercrit, where you would have seen the great Michael Freiberg get beaten by a 17-year-old. It's fantastic. It's what I like to see. The highlights are fantastic. It's a great day. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Riders, 3, 2, 1, you're on the way.
If it ain't hard, you gotta make it rock hard. You gotta take it too far. You gotta rock hard. You wanna be a star. You just gotta rock hard. No matter who you are, you just gotta rock hard.
I think I'm more nervous now than I was before the Olympic title.
So it's going to be an interesting race, and Hank Vogel Senior might break away and surprise us all, who knows?
Hopefully a few of the legends aren't too serious and we have a good race.
Just have a crack. So we'll have a bit of fun though.
Hear the call of the wild and make it rock hard. Abuse that style. Make it rock hard. Play a mean and tough. Gotta make it rock hard. Till you can't get enough. You gotta make it rock hard.
He's going to take out the Legends race. Home, England. Buckley, McMurdo.
Everyone that pins a number on is a challenge. So, but yeah, definitely Hall and Freiberg main contenders, I'd say.
If it ain't hard, you gotta make it rock hard. You gotta take it too far. You gotta rock hard. You wanna be a star. You just gotta rock hard.
Stephen Hall, he can take it from way back. He can take it from way back. Amazing ride, what an incredible ride for the boy. Making us proud, well done. Stephen Hall, now in race. Second, Lindorf, Freiberg, Lindorf, Freiberg.
How was that, mate?
Oh, it was tough. It was probably the 6th or 7th time I've raced on this course. I've had the honour of winning a couple of times, but I've never beat Brownie out here, so I wanted to make a statement today, and I'm pretty happy with how I rode, so thanks for everyone for coming out.
Great race, mate.
Yeah, it was a great day, great event, and we'll see how it is next week.